Back to the box office, guys. I got another one for you guys today. Jaime Munguia versus Kamil Szeremeta. Now, this is another one-sided fight. Most of the main events this weekend are one-sided. Does not mean it's not going to be good TV. Alright, does not mean it's not going to be a good boxing weekend. This is just for the fact of main events. There's still plenty of value in the undercards, and there's still value if you want to predict over under in rounds. But let's get to it. Jaime Munguia versus Kamil Szeremeta. Jaime Munguia, the Vegas favorite, minus 5,000, meaning you have to bet $5,000 to win 100. Kamil Szeremeta, you bet on him, you bet $100, you get 1,000 back, and that's according to Bovada. Different sportsbooks have different money lines, different odds. Just keep in mind whatever you are looking for, just kind of, explore the odds. So let's get down to it. Jaime Munguia versus Kamil. So we got Jaime Munguia, the favorite. Let's jump over. We know about Jaime, 36-0. He is a fighter out of Tijuana. 36 wins, 29 wins by KO. His last win was against Turiano Johnson, which was actually a very competitive fight. Previous to that was Gary Sullivan, which he got out in the 11th round. And then Patrick, he knocked him out in the 4th round. Keep in mind, Gary O'Sullivan, a lot of people wanted him or thought he would be out early in the rounds. He was moving up in weight as far as he was super welterweight, if I'm not mistaken. Gary Sullivan was higher weight class, and same thing, it was a middleweight fight, and now Turiano Johnson as well was a step up. Kamil, we know him from fighting Triple G, and he's gonna put up a fight. He's gonna be there. And it should be a very interesting fight as far as what we can expect to see. He is 21-1, only 5 wins coming by the way of knockout, so don't expect him to get Jaime out of there unless Jaime gasses out. And let's get over to the keys of victory for you guys. So, keys of victory for the Vegas favorite, Jaime Munguia. What I want to say first and foremost is you got to attack the body. You need to break this guy down and just start laying the foundation so that you can take over in the later rounds of the fight. Step 2, key number 2, attack with the jab. Jaime, you are a guy that's being very heavily criticized right now. The reason is Gary Sullivan was out by David Lemieux, who a lot of people don't think highly of. A lot of people do think highly of him. You get a mixed bag with him, but with the expectations being so high, with you being the next, champion for Golden Boy, you fighting Gary Sullivan shouldn't have passed the 6th round. Now with Turiano Johnson in the 1st round, if you remember, I don't know if it was you working with your team, trying to work on iron out some new wrinkles, add a little wrinkle to your game. I don't know, but it seemed that you were a little uncomfortable fighting in the inside. That's why I'm saying tag the body, invest in the long term of the fight, just in case this fight does drag out like the Gary Sullivan fight. To attack with that jab. In the 1st round, you and Turiano Johnson were in a phone booth. And for some reason, I remember you were trying to kind of use a shoulder roll at that point. The positioning was not there. You were smothering your punches, which is going to be point number 3. And you were getting hit with an overhand right above. Kind of an awkward way to start the 1st round, to start the fight, and it kind of set the pace. Turiano Johnson eventually did gas out. You were too much for him, and you did land a lot of punches on him, but you yourself looked gassed at times in that fight. So let's avoid all that. You tag the body, invest downstairs in case the fight progresses and is a little bit longer than you expect. Attack with that jab, and you're gonna set up your 1s and 2s with that jab. You're gonna set up your 2s and 3s with that jab. You want to be at the right distance so you don't smother your punches, and that was really big for me in their last fight with Turiano Johnson. For some reason, the distance, closing the gap, it was too easy. Turiano was a big dude. You both had a game plan, and none of you were gonna budge. So don't smother your punches. Give yourself enough space with that jab so that you can eventually go back downstairs, tag the body, and kind of just lay the foundation so you can have a little more well prepped, more polished victory, if you can get to that point and continue on your winning streak. Now, that's for you. You are the Vegas favorite, despite, being heavily criticized, but besides being a lot that you can do on your game. But let's move over to the Vegas underdog. So, Kamil, stamina. Unfortunately, the only gif I could find of you was you getting rocked by Triple G. Don't worry, it happens. Triple G's been doing that for a very long time. There's no shame in that. But first and foremost, stamina. I do believe that the reason why Triple G got to you was because you were pulling out with your hands down from time to time. You were staying in front of him. You were kind of a stationary target at times. And I feel like it was due to that stamina. Now, Triple G himself, it was a weird fight during COVID. But have that energy, because if it gets down to the later rounds and you are in a slugfest, you only have 5 knockouts to your name, to your record. What you want to do is you're going to want to just preserve some of that energy so you can stay active, okay? The last thing you want to do is gas out and get stopped because you have no more gas in the tank. All right, so make sure you're well prepped and you kind of manage your energy throughout the fight, or you only know what kind of work you did in training camp to see how much you can step on the gas pedal early on. Key number two, don't fall in love. And the reason I say this is because Toriano Johnson had a lot of success, specifically on the inside in the first round. He had other throughout the fight as well. But don't fall in love fighting on the inside if you do have success there. Find where you have success and mix up the bag. Okay, you don't want to, if you're having success on the inside, you don't want to stay on the inside for too long. This guy does carry dynamite in his hands. He does get people out, although he has taken a little bit longer to get people out. He still has the ability to get fighters out, even at this respective weight class. Key number 3, go downstairs. And Jaime Munguia, I saw him his last fight, and I felt like he was gassed at some points. Some points I felt like he might even get stopped or dropped because he was so gassed. So invest to the body. Both of you are going to be doing a lot of work. And for someone that doesn't have a lot of one punch knockout, this is going to be a way to soften up your opponent so you can start landing big later in the fights. Look, Jaime Munguia has been trying to kind of muster up a little bit of defense. He's had some success, but there's still things that he needs to iron out. You just have to be very opportunistic. Go downstairs, work on the inside, have enough energy to last so you can make this competitive. When you say don't fall in love, don't be repetitive as well with your attack. If you're fighting on the inside, don't stay on the inside. If you can throw a jab, and stay there, don't become predictable. Okay, you're gonna want to give him multiple looks throughout the fight and keep him guessing, especially if he's trying to iron out wrinkles on his own game. All right, so you don't want him to know what you're going to be doing. You do these three things and you might have a chance. You'll give yourself a better chance at winning this fight. So let's take a look at my predictions and bet. So I am a firm believer that Jaime Munguia has been progressively getting better, despite him having a hard time with Toriano Johnson. I feel like he went back. He took a long, hard look at that film and is going to make the necessary adjustments to have a better outcome. Granted, he did win by TKO. What more better outcome can you have? Just iron out some wrinkles in your game so that you're not getting hit as much. You can manage your distance and you're not smothering your punches. I believe Jaime Munguia should be able to win this fight. Kamil, unfortunately, if he had a little bit more pop in his repertoire, I would feel like he'd have more of a chance to win this fight. Jaime Munguia, according to his last two, or for what I'm seeing from his last 2 fights, he is a beatable opponent. All right, but Kamil kind of seems, based on what you take a quick look at the record, 5 knockouts, hand-picked for Jaime Munguia to give him some rounds and then Munguia can come in and put him away. With that being said, it's going to be an entertaining weekend of fights. The main events, not a lot of value as far as betting, but we do have some undercard fights that do have value, including Marlene Esparza, Raul Curiel, I believe, Blair Cobb's, certain, money lines over under rounds. We'll talk about that. I'm going to be posting up the video soon. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment on if you guys can see Munguia making the necessary changes to be a threat to, let's say, a Triple G. Comment down below. Let's talk boxing, box office. Take care, guys.